Are we really going to have to live with Wi-Fi systems that control our vehicles? It seems like a complete recipe for disaster. We recently had to bring in our car for a factory recall to upgrade the computer system for our car from 2013. What do you think? Blessings to you.
Thank you. I think computers in cars are an absolute stupid idea. Um, I just do. I think it's a stupid idea. Do I think we need to have Wi-Fi? You know what? If you don't buy the cars that have that shit in it, they won't make it or sell it to you. You know? It's just that everybody thinks, oh, it's cool. We can have internet in the car. We can have, it's just, you don't need it. There's too much media input already in humanity, especially the young people. I mean, you could probably ask out of 10 kids who have their cell phones and they're texting Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all this shit, you could probably ask 10 kids, what's the weather outside? And I bet 8 of them couldn't tell you. They wouldn't even know what the weather was because they're doing this all the time. From the car, from the house to the car, from the car to school, or to the mall, or to their friend's house. That's all they're doing, is this, Absolutely no clue what's going on around them. It's just the little box. And I think having it in the car is a terrible idea. I see people here in Colorado that are slowing down traffic everywhere, and when we go around them, they're texting. They're texting. They're like this on the steering wheel, and they're texting. They're not even watching the road, and everybody else is backed up behind them, and they're clueless because it's so important that they got to get that little message out. This happens more and more and more. So, Jacqueline, don't buy a car like that, or ask them, how do I unplug this thing? If it's possible. But if we don't buy them, they won't make them because they're in the business to make money. Okay? So I like the older cars myself because they don't have all this shit on it. They just don't, I have a friend of mine who bought a brand new Cadillac. It's not a year old. And he had to replace the control module. It's about that big in it. $2,800. And that little box told his car exactly what to do. $2,800. Now, it was covered under warranty, but he didn't have the car for a week because they had to wait for the parts to come in. But that's how much it cost, was $2,800 for this little box. And that was a very lively conversation. He was pretty hot. But he won't do it again. He will not do it again. That's why people are looking at used cars for that very same reason. They don't have all this nonsense on it. Computers in cars it's just not a good idea. So, and electric cars, we've heard for years, electric cars are the way to go. Well, the new studies out show that electric cars are actually more harmful to the environment than combustion engines. You ask why? How can that be? 1, it takes 3 times the energy to charge it. 2, the rare earth metals that go into the batteries and the rest of the car are so expensive that wars are going to be fought in the future for those metals because there's just not enough of them. There is no way to replace every car on the planet that's combustion engine with an electric car. The resources simply aren't there. So, it's pretty interesting stuff. What we need to do is we need to get some of this electromagnetic energy magnetic propulsion systems where you have two magnets working off each other, creating electricity. No real actual moving parts except the spinning of a rotor that turns on a generator that charges a battery or propels a car to move. There are no limits. You see, what they've done is they've narrowed our choices to this, when in fact this doesn't work and hasn't worked forever. This is what we need, but they don't want us to know about it. They just don't want us to know about it. They don't want us having any more knowledge, because the more knowledge we have, the more a threat we are to their system, to their structure of control. That's how it works.